Fictional characters aren't people, they're weapons for emotional destruction. Okay, yes, they're technically people, and that means that they should feel real and relatable to be memorable. Right? Maybe not. Does your character really need to be relatable to be memorable? What if your villain or antagonist is the embodiment of true evil and totally lacks any relatable qualities? That doesn't mean they won't be memorable. Readers don't always remember characters who feel real. Real, relatable, or morally gray characters are strong and should be one of your main goals as a writer, but memorable characters are those who make readers feel something real, whether that's through relatability or something like hatred or fear. And I'm gonna show you how to do just that. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I post writing videos every week on character development, world building, and other writing related things. I also sell cheap digital and printer friendly writing workbooks on my Etsy shop, so if you're interested, hit subscribe. And feel free to follow me on Threads and Instagram, all links are in the description below. So what makes a character truly unforgettable? Think about the characters who have stayed with you long after finishing a book. They invaded your thoughts, haunted your dreams, and maybe even changed your perspective on the world, even just a little bit. This happens because characters are emotional weapons disguised as people. They're supposed to trigger specific feelings in readers, whether that's love, hate, envy, or even disgust. I mean, look at Game of Thrones. I don't think any audience has ever been more unified than in their hatred for Joffrey Lannister. Making your characters relatable and realistic is actually the bare minimum. If you stop there, then they'll still lack that extra little bit of escapism that readers are coming for. If I wanted just realism, then I would read literary fiction or nonfiction. But genre fiction, especially fantasy, needs worlds and plot lines that go above the ordinary. That means your characters need to do so as well. So let's talk about the 3-layer character method that'll help turn your ordinary characters into the emotional catalyst readers won't forget anytime soon. Layer 1 is the mask. This is what everyone sees on the surface, like appearance, profession, speech patterns, and surface level personality traits. This is the way they present themselves to the world and how they want other characters to see them as. Bad character development tends to stop at this point and doesn't explore further. Layer 2 is the wound, which is the painful past experience that shaped them. Now, the severity of this experience and pain depends on the role you want them to play in your book, but the wound isn't just about making readers sympathetic. It's about creating the character's key contradiction, and that's layer 3. The contradiction is where the magic happens. This is where your character's conscious desires and unconscious needs are in direct opposition. They want something that will actually prevent them from healing their wound. For example, a character who was abandoned as a child might desire independence and pushes people away, their conscious desire, while actually needing connection and belonging, their unconscious need. This contradiction creates internal tension that readers can't look away from. But how do you actually implement these contradictions into your story? Most writers know that characters need flaws, but they often choose ones like they're clumsy or they work too hard. They're not in a job interview. Unless the conflict resolution hinges on them overcoming their clumsiness, these are quirks at best, not true flaws. Deep character flaws are destructive patterns that hurt themselves and those around them. And these patterns should be fueled by the wound. This is wounded logic, where your character's destructive behaviors must make sense when viewed through the lens of their past wounds. Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones does monstrous things throughout the series, but her actions follow perfect wounded logic. She received a prophecy that her children would die, lost her mother at a young age, and grew up with a father who dismissed her because she was a woman. Her wounded logic says, power is the only protection from pain, love makes you vulnerable, trust no one. Her actions, though brutal, follow this internal logic. Now, your readers won't necessarily like characters with wounded logic, but they will understand them. And understanding is what tethers the emotional connection and makes these characters unforgettable. Now, how do you reveal these character layers without slowing your story down? Now, weak writing will either front load with massive info dumps or scatter random lengthy flashbacks throughout the story that serve no real purpose than to offer exposition at convenient moments. Both approaches can kill your pacing and bore your readers. Instead, try the iceberg method. Ernest Hemingway talked about this in relation to things like world building, but you can do this with character development as well. Like an iceberg, only about 10% of your character's depth should be visible above the surface, and this is through explicit narration that directly tells the reader about this character's depth. Now, the remaining 90% should be revealed gradually through how they react to story events, not just how they feel, but what they say or do in response to it. Small, meaningful details in their environment or possessions, like a despicable character who keeps a sentimental locket in their bag. The gaps between what they say and what they do, which is best shown through lines of thought if you're writing a closer narrative perspective like first person or third person limited, or if not, you can show this gap through things like their facial expressions or body language, how other characters perceive and respond to them, what opinions and connections are other characters making about this person based on what they're seeing, and carefully placed micro flashbacks. These are concise but vivid snippets of memory that are triggered by dialogue or events, and these should typically last 1 to 2 paragraphs. Don't tell us your character was abandoned as a child. Show them flinching when someone reaches for their hand. Don't explain their paranoia. Show them double checking the locks before they go to bed. Now, how can these contradictions drive character growth and develop their character arc? The strongest character arcs aren't always about characters becoming better people, but they should almost always be about characters becoming whole people. The journey from contradiction to integration is what makes character development feel authentic and earned. Now, these arcs typically follow this progression. The character uses their mask to protect their wound. The events of the story force them to confront their contradiction. The character must then choose between their conscious desire or their unconscious need, and the character reconciles their contradiction and becomes whole. You're essentially starting with a cognitively dissonant person who becomes more or fully assonant by the end of the story. Now, this doesn't mean your characters need to completely resolve their issues by the end of the story because, as I always say, perfect characters are boring characters. But they should gain awareness of their contradiction and make movements toward integration. Think of Zuko from Avatar. His mask is the angry, determined prince. His wound is his father's rejection, and his contradiction is seeking honor through dishonorable means. His arc is about integrating these contradictions to become whole. So what can you do today to deepen your character? For every major decision your character makes, write 2 versions. What their mask would choose, the socially acceptable choice, and what their wound would choose, the self-protective choice. Your character should almost always make a choice that falls somewhere between these extremes to underscore the ongoing internal battle. For example, if your character must decide whether to trust a potential ally, their mask might say yes, trust them completely, the socially acceptable choice, while their wound might say never trust anyone, the self-protective choice. What they actually might do would be to trust, but also do some secretive digging into their background and history. This technique will help show their struggle between these impulses, highlight their inner conflict, and show their contradictions in action. Now, if you want some guided structure on writing strong characters, check out my affordable character development workbook, link in the description. And for more character development tips, you might want to watch these videos next. Until the next chapter.